Good day everyone, this is Jane B. Tangaro and this is my presentation in GEC 109. Exile of Rizal in Dapitan. Arrival of Rizal. Aboard the steamer Cebu and under heavy guard, Rizal left Manila, sailing to Mindoro and Panay until he reached Dapitan at 7 o'clock in the evening of June 17. From that day until July 31, 1896, Dapitan became the bear witness to one of the most fruitful periods in Rizal's life. His stay in the province was more than he living in exile. It was the period when Rizal had been more focused in serving the people and the society through the civic works, medical practices, land development, and promotion of education. Reason of Rizal's deportation. Rizal was deported to Dapitan because of the confiscated reading materials. He published books and articles in other countries criticizing the mother Spain. Rizal lived a pretty simple life during his banishment in Dapitan. Rizal had built an informal school where he taught several children. He also had patients who went looking for him to get healed. How did Rizal spend his exile in Dapitan? During the early part of his exile in Dapitan, Rizal lived at the commandant's residence. With his prize from the Manila lottery and his earnings as a farmer and a merchant, he bought a piece of land near the shore of Talisay near Dapitan. On this land, he built 3 houses, all made of bamboo, wood, and nipa. Which in that remote part of the country would have been relatively easy. What were the most significant activities of Rizal in Dapitan? Aside from his lottery prize, Rizal earned more money by practicing medicine. Some rich patients paid him well for curing their eye ailments. He began to buy agricultural lands in Talisay, a barrio near Dapitan. Rizal devoted much effort in Dapitan. He tilled the soil and planted rice, corn, abaca, and many fruit trees. He practiced his profession as physician and eye surgeon, constructed residential and little hospital houses. He also assisted to the beautification of the public square. Rizal also put up a school and dormitory for boys in Talisay, as well as clinic where he treated ailments and performed eye surgery. With engineering and architectural skills, he built a dam and waterworks in Talisay and set up the town plaza of Dapitan with street lighting. Trial of Dr. Jose Rizal. On December 6, 1896, the trial of Dr. Jose Rizal by a Spanish military court for sedition, rebellion, and conspiracy began. This leads to his execution and martyrdom. He was charged with being a traitor to Spain and the mastermind of the revolution. He pleaded his innocence, but he was still convicted on all 3 charges of rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy, and sentenced to death. Execution of Rizal. He was executed by the Spanish colonial government for the crime of rebellion after the Philippine Revolution, inspired in part by his writings, broke out. Though he was not actively involved in its planning or conduct, he ultimately approved of its goals, which eventually led to Philippine independence. Moments before his execution on December 30, 1896, by a squad of Filipino soldiers of the Spanish Army, a backup force of regular Spanish Army troops stood ready to shoot the executioners should they fail to obey orders. The Spanish Army Surgeon General requested to take his pulse. It was normal. Aware of this, the sergeant commanding the backup force hushed his men to silence when they began raising vivas with the highly partisan crowd of Peninsular and Mestizo Spaniards. His last words were those of Jesus Christ, "Consummatum est." It is finished.
Rizal's impact in the Philippines.
Rizal has been instrumental in the Filipinos' bid towards independence and several developments in various sectors. Rizal also made contributions to the Philippine art, literature, and medicine which continues to fascinate his countrymen today. Rizal's love for the Philippines was evident in nearly all his actions. He was executed in Bagong Bayan, now called Luneta, in Manila on December 30, 1896. But his death meant much more for the Filipinos. It sparked the revolution in the country against the Spanish government, which ruled Las Islas Filipinas, now the Philippines, from 1565 to 1898. Rizal inspired the nation to be born. Thank you for listening.